Ahoy ahoy, welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV. We're here at the title screen because we're pretty much two Shadowbringers now. We haven't set first in the, haven't set foot in the zones yet, but I wanted to go ahead and show off the intro movie for it. I wonder what they used to bring down the dropships. The ship is huge.
How many years have come and gone since that day? How many years have I waited for this moment? For the one that stood alone against the storm. For the one they called. The warrior of light. We may accept this fate or defy it, but we cannot deny it.
Deny? I am not wont to run from my troubles. Until our friend returns, I will hold the line.
That's just Tola, that's not Montoya. Fat cats. Literal fat cats. Gunblade.
This town certainly has changed, and not at all for the better.
I'm not going anywhere. I promise you, Infilia.
Ophelia's kid, eh? Just coming back to the corporeal realm. Did some shit to her.
seventh umbral calamity must be undone. If history must be unwritten, let it be unwritten. Become what you must.
Like that on my Dark Knight.
Become the warrior of darkness.
So that's what we have to look forward to. That's the context for this title screen. And in honor of that, we'll switch back to Dark Knight. Although I do still fully intend on going through evenly on Astrologian, Red Mage, and Dragoon as well. Because there's going to be role classes, or role class quests to show off.
By the 12! I don't believe it! I rushed back as soon as I could. I swear, my heart nearly stopped when I heard you'd collapse like the others. What in heaven's name is going on?
Oh, a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Win or lose, the path you walk leads only to oblivion. Oh, well, that's helpful. And what else did he say? The better path leads to him? If his is the voice you've all been hearing, perhaps the others are with him. Sir Emmerich said the fighting had reached a stalemate, didn't he? But if that monster masquerading as Xenos comes back... Thancred, Y'shtola, Urianger, Alphino, Alize... You're going to need all of them on your side to defeat him.
Actually, I pretty much handed him his ass.
And I forbid you from going to face him on your own. Do you hear me?
The only reason I didn't kill the shit out of him is because I was called.
So if you must leave, go and find the others. Bring them home.
But yeah, I would like to get Alice back, and Urianger especially. And Thancred too, I guess.
As for where to start, you said the stranger had left a beacon for you at the Crystal Tower, right?
Darn tootin'.
But how are you to find it, now that the tower has been sealed shut? There has to be a way. If anyone would know, it's Sid, and the researchers of St. Coinac's find. Don't you worry. We'll find that beacon for you.
I wonder if Inor ever thinks about banging the warrior alight. She's all for banging Hoary Boulder and his brother, but... Oh, great. Another meanwhile in the Imperial Palace bit. Well, it's not going away anytime soon, that's for sure. I hope you like the Meanwhile in the Imperial Palace bit, viewer. Because they sure do like it.
I pray you have good reason for abandoning the front.
How could I remain there while the rumor that my son is possessed by a demon spreads like a sickness here at home? I will not be made to fight for the throne a second time. But what of you? Did you not tell me you would destroy Eorzea's champion with the ease that one might swat a fly?
A minor setback. He will not escape me again. Where is your grandsire? I would have words with him.
How should I know? Do you hide from each other's sight as well? I imagine he's doing what all Ascians do.
He must have found a way to take advantage of this turmoil.
Men are not pawns to be played with, Ascian. You underestimate us at your peril. This war will not be decided by you and yours. Man must choose his own fate, and I, for my part, will do all within my power to see Garlemald emerge victorious.
Pray forgive the intrusion, Your Radiance, but the requested preparations are now complete. We stand ready to begin production of Black Rose upon your order.
Ominous. And unsettling. But not as unsettling as it could be. Got some Alamegan Resistance music here. Ah, the final credits for Stormblood. I believe I can just skip them, but we'll just settle for fast forward, I suppose. Wouldn't want to miss out on this artwork, you know? That artwork of Heian is interesting. It makes his hair look a lot messier than it appears in game.
This home rested forth from tired fingers.
I feel like they've done Yugiri a disservice. I feel like she should have been in the story a lot more. Oh well. Kind of got our lips wrong. That's okay. I love the twins.
A solemn pyre raised to rouse the slumbering heaven.
Also, I hope you're not attached to Lise or Hien or Yugiri. They're not going to, spoiler alert, they're not going to feature in the next expansion at all, really. The only way to see them is in post-game content at level 80 or a couple cutscenes. Lise features in the Monk quest line at the level 80 quest line, and Hien is related to the next Relic quest line by a little bit. You can see Fordola and Arenvald again and the Summoner quest line at level 80. As for all the other world leaders, you don't really see them either. Thank goodness that prick is dead. We don't have to ever see him again, huh? I hope you don't mind sitting through these credits with me. I just feel... well, I'm always scared that if I skip them, that I'll incidentally skip the next cutscene as well. And to be honest, I usually skip them myself in every playthrough I've done, and I can never remember when I skipped them if there was any cutscene that was immediately skipped by skipping the credits. I don't think there ever is, but I actually really enjoyed Stormblood overall. For me, at the time it was current, it was bittersweet because we were getting so much less. We were getting less dungeons. You know, Eureka content wasn't satisfying to me, except for the Baldessian Arsenal, which didn't come till the very last Eureka thing. And that was also mildly unsatisfying because my friends... because I wasn't interested in it at first, my friends blew through it and got done with it and never touched it ever again. And so by the time I wanted to pick it up, my friends weren't willing to go with me, and so I just had to go with complete strangers, which wasn't that hard. I just had to join a Discord group where I didn't know anybody, and I got my clear of it. Also never touched it ever again, because there's no point. But, well, unless you want to become like a fully decked out Eureka Master, which, like, again, there's no point. As far as Eureka serving the rest of the game, it's build your relic and give it good substats. And that can all be done without Baldessian Arsenal, so... and the bosses in Baldessian Arsenal aren't really that interesting. It's basically, though, that if you screw up or lag out and die, there's a chance that you're kicked out of the instance. So it's basically just that death is really punishing. That's the only thing that's interesting about it. Not saying that all the bosses are just cakewalks, but compared to like an extreme fight or a savage fight, they're roughly about as hard as 24-man raid fight bosses, and maybe like one step harder because of the permadeath thing, and then also the final boss has something that can suck you out of the instance even if it doesn't, you know, even if it wouldn't have killed you, so you have to obey their mechanics. That's a good way to describe them. Basically, you obey their mechanics and, you know, be careful above trying to push damage. I believe there's an enrage on the final boss to the Baldessian Arsenal. I don't know about the other ones, though. You have 48 people for... Well, you have 24 for the first two bosses because you're supposed to split your alliance in half. And then that's still 3 parties, you know, for each boss. And then for the second boss, you have all 48 people. And then for the third boss, the support fate party enters, so you get 56 people. So if nobody's died, you have 56 people to kill this boss with. The bosses don't scale to how many people you have inside, and they totally expect some people to die along the way. So the bosses are like scaled for, I think, about, you know, 32 people fighting them. So like if you make it to the end of a Baldessian Arsenal run and like hardly anyone's died, it's gonna be easy. Stuff's gonna go down quick, especially nowadays. But even back when it was new, so. But as far as the story elements go, and the extremes, and especially the Savage fights, I loved the design of all of Stormblood's raid fights. Admittedly, in the first tier, the first 2 fights were a little too easy, but at least they had semi-interesting mechanics, and were like a good lead-in for people who hadn't done Savage before. There was a good feeling of progression in my mind in the Savage rating for Stormblood. And that's also where they sort of picked back up the raid actually having a decent storyline, because, not to knock it completely, but the Alexander storyline with the Illuminati goblins and the time loop, it really doesn't do it for me. It raises too many... Time travel always raises too many questions. For every instance of time travel you add to a storyline, it begs more and more and more questions. And the Alexander one is just, it's a conundrum. It doesn't tie itself up with a neat little bow, just like the time loop in Final Fantasy 1. So at least it's you know, keeping on track with the record of Final Fantasy, and that it's convoluted and a bit ridiculous. And it's better if you don't think about it too hard. On the other hand, it might make you go read about space-time geodesics, singularities, and all that. There's actually some recent breakthroughs and like proofs about singularities back in 2018. I think it was proven that the strong theory for non-visible singularities was proven false, I think. So that's not what it's actually called, though. I can't remember the proper title for it, but basically it's whether you can see singularities or not. And it has to do with like stating that like using a singularity as a wormhole to another place would be impossible, and by disproving the strong proof of that, it's more likely that it is possible. But I'm explaining it very poorly, and I don't even have the terms right, so I don't think about it too much from what I'm saying. A lot of people worked on this, huh? I wish I could make it go faster. Wait, you can hide the scrolling text? What? Why would they let you do that? What? Oh, I guess it was for the pictures earlier. I didn't realize you could do that. Silly me. Yes, we're watching the credits. Of course, of course. Yeah, all in all, I found Stormblood to be a very fun ride, and I like that they wrote the main villain for the initial storyline, you know, Xenos, to be a character that people actually legitimately hate, because I feel like a lot of villainy these days, people want to focus on, you know, villains you can relate to, and that's all well and good. It does make for a really good story. And the villain that's up and coming in Shadowbringers is going to be very much like that. But, you know, at the same time, it breeds these people that want to, you know, bring them back and make them an anti-hero and team up with them and romance them and smooch them and, you know, suck their dick and have all their babies. And it's like, no, they're a villain. They committed heinous evil acts. Like, you know, don't fall and like, it's fine to like villains, right? Like, they're what make fiction interesting. But like, I don't get villain fuckers, I guess. Like, I just don't get it. I mean, I get it from their hot perspective, right? Like, obviously, but like, there's people legitimately, like, you know, they want more. They want, like, love from this villain, you know. It's silly. Like, it reaches a point where it's too over the top. It's too much. Gotta dial it back, you know. It's fine to love a villain. It's fine to be inspired to write and, like, to draw and to, you know, compare all villains to the villain you like. But I don't know, I think there's something to be said about writing in a way that makes someone hate a character. Because I think that sometimes writers do that. Like, they want a character to be hated. And what's funny is, when they succeed at that, it's often misconstrued as they wrote a poor character and that's why the character is hated. But it's like, you know, if they wanted you to hate them, and you hate them, I don't know. But I liked all the post-game questing. I liked Tsukuyomi. I liked the Four Lords side quest venture thing. I liked, you know, this sudden escalation. And finally going to war, like, straight up on a battlefield. I liked how there were Garlean paratroopers. Although I feel like paratroopers in a world where, you know, some people can shoot lightning out of their hands and stuff, I feel like they would be really, really easily killed by the Alliance. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the velocity of magic is just too slow to take paratroopers out. But paratrooping straight onto a battlefield is insanely dangerous, especially in the real world, so. It would have been cool to see, like, a dropship pull up above you with, like, paratroopers in it, and they were all, like, you could see them, like, paratrooping out of it, and then the Alliance, like, blew it up with cannons, and, you know, you got to see all the paratroopers, like, their chutes get ripped and torn and then just fall. Like, I guess that would have had to have been a cutscene, but it would have been cool, you know? They had a lot of potential for it, for doing cool shit like that. I mean, maybe I sound ungrateful, but I just, you know, it makes me want more Imperial War and stuff. A lot of other people do too. A lot of people are convinced that the next expansion after Shadowbringers is going to be a trip to fix Garlemald, basically, to team up with Resistance members and take it back from its warring factions and then rewrite it and ally it with people and stuff. Personally, I think the next expansion is going to revolve around the actual Sharlayan motherland, but I also think we're going to go to Thavnir. I think that over the course of 5.4 and 5.5 with the Bosnian front, because next week we're getting we're getting content called the Bosnian Southern Front, and it's basically going to be widespread battlefield, huge 144-person instance specifically for fighting, the Garlean Empire in Bosnia. And it's like over near Yangtze and Naxia and stuff. And we'll get to see more details about that in the Let's Play eventually when we get to level 80 and to the end of Shadowbringers, which we've got a while, but it won't take as long as you might think. So, Michael Sherlock, huh? Maybe, did he die during the production or something? I'll look that up. Took a little longer than I wanted to with that, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and switch back to Dark Knight. Brand new traveling outfit, huh? Are you worried that it's not going to fit properly? We're in cutscene hell again, I guess. Oh. Xenos in the Elysian body again. You know it's him because of those eyes. And the katana. The way he talks.
My enemy. My friend. Had I been but a step faster.
Would you have tried to kill us, or would you have first taken your body back?
Bloody savages!
Still really strong in an Elysian body.
A pity your hunt leads you elsewhere. Not that I am surprised. May you find joy in it. Grow stronger, more savage, and savor every triumph. In the meantime, I will reclaim that which is rightfully mine.
Your body, right? Although I don't think you really need it. But it must be a little bit awkward to walk around in a different body that's not your own. Not to mention all his favorite katanas are with it. Also, the credits have made me lose track of where we are time-wise. That is where we were told to go. In the midst of a requiem for heroes, a voice rings out across time and space. Time and space? Are you fucking kidding me? We're getting time travel again. Circus Trench. And here they start giving you free high-quality I-385 weaponry. So if you didn't stick around at the 70 plateau for too long, you start to be given, you know, goodies. A lot of ground to cover, eh? You know, it kind of completely slipped my mind. I might have not been paying attention the very first time I ever did this, but I didn't understand what, like, I missed the whole beacon talk. I was like so blown away by like what the fuck was going on. I was like I did not expect this as an expansion at all. I thought the first time when Thancred got pulled out of his body back in 3.4 or whatever, or 4.4 I guess, I thought that it was the Ascians doing. I thought the Ascians were finally just fucking taking us out, and that we were gonna have to figure out how they were doing it and stop them. But nope, that was not it. It's not it at all. So, yeah. But could have been worse, I suppose. Crystal Tower never looked so good. Still weird to me that we can fly in these zones now. I kind of wish they hadn't allowed us to. But beggars can't be choosers. So. Everyone else wanted it, so. What am I compared to 20 million other people? Air here weighs heavily upon you, huh? There's something interesting at the end of the trench. I think it's hard to see, but I think you can see it right now. Or I thought you could. It might not be here right now for some reason, but there was someone at some point after some patch where the power reader that Nero threw off the ledge way back at the Crystal Tower storyline, that same power reader is down here somewhere. Let's continue on with the story though. I didn't realize Nora and her sister were down here. I only saw Hoary Boulder and Coltonette. Maybe I wasn't being observant.
Look how many people there are! Should we get to it then? Pick up anything that seems the least bit device-like, and we'll make ourselves a pile.
Suppose that's
Well, if it isn't the hero of the hour, maybe you'll change our look. We've found bugger all without you.
Biggs! Wedge!
Aye, aye. Well, we could hardly say no to a call for aid from the Scions. Jesse called it the chief of some other business. So we'll be working twice as hard to make up for his not being here.
Thrice as hard, even.
Jesse Collard Sid. Think about that.
Thank you, both of you. I'm sure we'll find that beacon in no time.
I'm not seeing anything out here. Do you reckon you could squeeze in there, Wedge?
And get stuck halfway? No, thank you.
I could try if you like.
Tataru, no! We couldn't ask you to do that.
Oh, I'll be fine. This receptionist is not afraid to get her hands dirty.
Is she being flirty with Wedge? Or Biggs?
Sorry, I meant to say, the scholars haven't finished their preliminary assessment of the site yet, so we're not supposed to venture too far in. What's that you got there?
Got the
Now
Ironworks
that
logo
looks
on it.
promising.
Isn't that the Ironworks symbol? Counterfeiters?
Looks like a gear.
Now I have you.
You are right.
What's happening?
Stay with me. Focus on my voice. Let expanse contract. Eon become instant.
Wait, this must be it. The device. Well, this is supposed to happen.
Throw wide the gates that we may pass.
Oh, safe journey, warrior of light. Find our friends and bring them home.
Uh-oh. And outer space. I can't breathe in space. Oh, but I'm standing on something. Not in space, it's... dimension? Oh. Oh, this went. Nanimo?
The dawn's light will shine again.
Papolino?
Oh, do not look at me so.
You're slaves to a tyrant. There's no freedom in that.
This is one battle you cannot fight. Away with you. Say your spirited accounts always comes.
We did everything right. Everything that was asked of us, and still it came to this.
Your time has not yet come.
Literal warrior of darkness? Startbird. Some confusing imagery. Blinding light everywhere. Purple plants? Trees?
From endless dreams I awake. Something vague, yet urgent, calls me to action once more.
Merchant and his chocobo.
Rare to meet someone out here who's not a peddler themselves. What brings you into the wilds this time of night?
Nice.
Well, if it ain't the oldest joke in the book. Me granddad, God's rest his soul, used to tell that one to the barman at kicking out time. And when, pray tell, did we last have a dark night? You rotten old drunk yet, he'd reply. Over 100 bleeding years ago, that's when. You got that look down to a T. I'd almost think you meant it. Ah, got to you, did they? Poor beggar. That explains it then.
It's a big ass ring he's got on.
Well, I've roads to travel and wares to sell, but you best hurry along to the town nearby. Just head east through the trees and aim for the Shining Tower. You'll find the place soon enough. 'Tis the biggest settlement for malms around. Go on now, friend. They'll take good care of you in the Crystarium.
Despite being a merchant, he has a sword and a shield. Guess it ain't safe in these parts. Sensible. The world looks so alien.
To dizzying heights it rises, the gleaming spire. Its tip threatening to pierce the blinding canopy. There, it will all begin anew. Between dark and light. The pure and the corrupt. The one true struggle.
don't have access to mounts. That makes sense. Why would we? We came from the Forest of the Lost Shepherd. Let's check out those clothes that Taro gave us real quick. Scion Traveler's attire. It looks a tad strange. Quite honestly, to me it makes us look like a... It's almost as if like the Asians visited Tataru in her dreams. So it makes us look like one. I mean, sort of. The mask is a bit off. And it's not quite a full robe or anything, but... I have no idea why she made that for us. Extensor Gate, huh? Well...
Halt! Every face in this city I know. Yours, I do not.
It's funny, her voice actress to me in English sounds like the voice actress for what's her name? The blonde woman in Castlevania, the anime on Netflix. But no, it's not Alexandra Reynoso, it's someone else. It's like some lady
This
from
is
Iceland.
the threshold of the Crystarium, stranger, and I am its gatekeeper. If you would enter, you will answer my questions. From where do you hail?
The first option will be your starting city. The source.
The source? What is this cryptic nonsense? Had you given me an honest answer, I would not have barred your way. We care little here for a person's place of origin. But instead, you chose concealment. And I will not suffer you to pass.
Oh, that ring.
That one had eaten. It must have gulped down the whole hand, ring and all.
So much for that merchant.
Everything all right, Captain?
Quite all right, my lord. Just a stray sin eater, and a weak one at that.
I see. Weak or not, we should be on the lookout for more. But I see you've met my guest. I will escort him to the Crystarium myself, if you've no objections.
Another of your mysterious friends, is it? I should have known. Very well. I'll inform the others your guest is to be given the run of the city. Pray forgive my less than cordial welcome. May the rest of your stay with us be a pleasant one.
Come with me. I will answer whatever questions you have when we are somewhere more private.
We've seen those lips before.
Right then, before we plunge into the wheres and wherefores, let me first thank you for answering my summons. I had intended to bring you directly to my personal quarters, but I fear my aim was slightly off. That you are still able to make the crossing unharmed is a great relief. And so, we come to the question of where. The realm in which you now find yourself belongs to one of the 13 reflections, or shards. The first, to be precise, even if its inhabitants are largely oblivious to the fact. As to wherefore, having been awarded the rather grandiose title of Crystal Exarch, I, in my capacity as caretaker of the Crystarium, thought to seek the aid of you and your companions. That is a question with no simple answer. But all shall be explained in due course, I promise you. Let us begin with the glaring skies up above. Here in the first, the world has been all but consumed by primordial light.
What do you mean by primordial?
It began a century ago, by this realm's reckoning. A luminous flood swallowing everything in its path. More than 9/10 of this star was lost. And the fortunate few who survived are hounded by abominations born of that catastrophe even now. Sin Eaters, we call them. The creature you saw earlier was one such monstrosity.
Looks kind of like a white gargoyle to me.
It was to save the first from this menace that I learned to bridge the rift between worlds. That I might call upon the aid of the greatest of heroes. And though it meant depriving a world of its champion, I had to try. For in saving the first, you would bring salvation to the source as well.
Frowny face, because I have no idea how the fuck you would have that happen.
But what manner of host harangues his guests in the middle of the road? Let us continue our talk within the Crystarium.
Are we about to enter into one of the best towns they've ever made in the entire game? Well, yes. Yes, we are.